YouTube, what's up? You have a slightly flustered Billy today in the middle of a project. You have Ben also.
Hello.
So, alright, let me give you some backstory. Those of you may have watched me build this panel right here. And in case you haven't, check the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So we are in the middle of a pretty heavy integration right now. So at LM, for many, many moons, we have been building these integrated cases that are basically dressing room cases that are designed to go into, wait for it, a dressing room so you can play video games. And they have a sound system and a TV and have all kinds of stuff and some panels. And this one has a PlayStation and an Apple TV. And it goes into this monitor that has a lift right here. And just to show you the diary of a madman, it gets very neat it gets very messy before it gets very neat. So look, here is the wiring on the back of this being very, very neat. And then the rest of the room sort of explodes behind it, but we're not going to talk about that, and we are not going to address the absolute mess on the surface of this. We cool with that? Now moving on. The easiest way that we have built these cases since, wait for it, 2008, is that our pals at Sony have given us an analog audio output on their TVs. And that has allowed me to feed the sound system from the back of the TV, and the user can operate the TV or the sound system with the remote without a problem. Now, this is the last TV I have that has an analog output. I have been hoarding them for these particular instances. Now here's the problem. The new ones only have eARC, which brings us to today's episode of Shop Talk. So I'm gonna put this camera down and I'm gonna bring you guys up to speed because hopefully you guys know, and I will let you into the diary of a madman, which I'm explaining to Ben and said we should just film this. So stand by. Alright, YouTube, here is your time to shine. I am actually asking the comment section for help. If, by some grace of God, either one of you actually knows what's up with this and can actually help me, or two, you can recommend a video friend, which I'm sure doesn't watch any of these videos. I go boom, 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 aka sound. I don't go blink, 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 or video. 1980s video. And I think Ben is in the same way.
The same boat.
So here's what's going on. With the entertainment center that I have showed you in our Diary of a Madman messed up room, Ben didn't do any of that, that was me. In trying to get too big of a case integrated in too small of a shop, I have used my last sacred inventoried analog audio output TV to get this system out the door. It's my last one. I knew this day would come, but I need a way of feeding an analog sound system with a TV that only has SPDIF or eARC. I'm hoping to use eARC. Here's my problem. I need to attenuate it with the TV remote. Now at my house, I have a Sonos soundbar in my bedroom that takes eARC and puts it into Sonos land. The lip sync is right, like it just works. And I can use my remote control from my TV, my regular Sony TV, and it attenuates it just fine. But playing with Amazon, just $20 converters, you can get PCM output on the TV, and you can adjust the audio level in the PCM submenu in the settings menu to attenuate it, but the regular volume on the remote control won't work.
Okay.
So the challenge that we have to come up with is, how do you take an eARC converter and make your remote be the control? Now, I'm going to give you what I've done previously for previous builds to get the dumb stuff out of the way. Previously, I have taken a cheapy SPDIF to analog converter box from Amazon, bought a Logitech programmable remote, copied its infrared code, and just said, when you adjust the volume, you hit this little box.
That was exactly what I was going to suggest.
I figured you would. Secondarily, so let's get that one out of the way. So here's my question to you guys. If any of you know the finer points of how Sonos works, how does Sonos attenuate the volume? I talked to a very good friend of mine yesterday who is the one that turned me on to Sonos, and he seems to think that the Sonos is just smart enough to take the IR signal from your remote, duplicate it, and just say, I am turning the volume on the TV down, and just translate that into Sonos world.
That's probably fair.
Yeah, and I think he's right. Yeah. So I need you guys to confirm that, but I'm 99% that he's probably right. So my incorrect assumption, before I burned my last remaining in-stock analog TV, was to get a cheapy Amazon box and see, can I get eARC signal out of this, and can the remote do it? And that has led me down a rabbit hole of epic proportions, which has led me to ask you guys for help. So that was option one, was the Toslink box, or SPDIF, or SPDIF. My secondary option, which I know works, is in the Sonos family of things. They make a Sonos Amp that is about the size of a Mac Mini.
Oh, okay.
You can feed it with eARC, and it gives you just an amplified signal. It's just a regular power amp. It's just the input signal is eARC for those stupid hi-fi things, which Ben and I both hate. So I can use passive speakers and use the Sonos Amp, and that will also work. The bad thing is, it requires the internet.
Oh.
So you have to put a router and a switch in there and connect to it, whether you have an internet signal or not. So I know that going into Sonos world will solve some problems, but create some more. So that is where I'm at in my journey. Do you have anything to suggest?
My suggestion was have a programmable remote and have it figure that out for you, but otherwise I'm not exactly sure. So
okay, yeah. All right, video people, that's your challenge. Help your boys out. I mean, again, the threat is not imminent, but I kind of assume that you guys all follow LM, and you're going to look at this sweet case that we're about to finish up in the next few hours and clean the shop. I promise we're going to clean the shop. And you're going to be like, I want one of those. And then I'm going to be completely and utterly screwed because I'm not going to know how to do this. So before I go to the absolute drawing board and torture Ben with, well, will this work? I'm asking you guys for help. So if there's something that you can suggest that we're not thinking about, that would be super great. Your move. Bye.
See ya.